What's going on, 49er faithful, 49er fam, 49er gang? This your boy 49er Dion here back with another video. So definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notifications so I can keep you up to date on any and everything San Francisco 49ers. With that being said, we're going to get right on into it. So this one is another roster check. We are talking about the wide receivers that we have. And basically for the wide receivers, I wanted to bring a special guest in. This guy right here, y'all know him from Nothing But Niners. This right here is 49ers Mike _NFL. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, big dog? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm chilling. Like I said, fresh out that gym, boy, you know, just trying to make sure I ain't over here glistening on camera, you know?
Hey, it's okay, man. You do like me, start an OnlyFans if it work out for you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, look, Mike and already started with the shenanigans, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be serious and professional.
It's all good, brother. It ain't nothing. Yeah, man. So before we get into the wideouts, there were some interviews today. First time we got to see DeMeco Ryans be interviewed as the new DC. And also first time that we got to see hey, what's happening, Kev? First time that we got to see Ken Law, and I believe there was Tart, and yeah, I think it was it. Ken Law.
I saw
Ward, Jimmy Ward. There we go. It wasn't Tart, it was Ward.
Sam Ecobomb.
Oh yeah, okay. He must have came in later. They do such a big stretch.
And Jason Verrett.
Yeah, and it drives me absolutely insane. I hate when they do that, where they have like a 10-minute stretch in between players. It's like all y'all doing is going. Yes, switch to YouTube. Yeah, if you want, you can switch to YouTube, or you can stick with the Periscope on Twitter. It doesn't make a difference. I can still see the comments from both of those. But yeah, I like DeMeco. You know, I like his interview. I like what he had to say, and I'm very intrigued about this high-paced defense. What do you think of that?
You know, when I read the quote first, I was like, all right, I see it. Then I went back and I listened to it. And I'll be honest with you, man, it kind of gave me some negative flashbacks, bro. I don't know if you remember when Eric Mangini was here.
Okay.
I got similar feelings to that, and I was like, is this, you know, like they talked that talk in the beginning, and then it was like one of the worst defenses ever. And I'm not saying I don't think that's going to happen with the Niners, but it was the way that one quote about the high pace, we're going to get after type of thing, like that quote it was like eerily similar to what Mangini said, and it gave me a little pause. But as he went through and later on broke down some stuff and he highlighted certain players and everything, you could hear what the defensive philosophy is going to be. And I really like it.
Yeah. For me, I like it too, because at the end of the day, all I really want is for us to fly around. I would love to see us blitz a little bit more. Saleh wasn't heavy on blitzing. Saleh was heavy on letting the front four do their job, get to the quarterback, and basically every now and then he was sprinkling a little something. But he was more so, you know, linebackers, you know, do your job, you know, kind of cover a little bit more, you know, watch the tight ends, make sure that, you know, the little slot guy doesn't get out and get too open too easily. And, you know, that front four is going to make it. But it was like last year we didn't have that front four to make it, you know, outside of Kerry Hyder. You know, we really didn't have a lot of progression. Now, one thing that I did like was Kendall had some good things to say about Kevin Gibbons there. You know,
and we heard we even heard DeMeco mention him. You know, it's interesting to hear those guys talking about him because he's one of the guys who, for all intents and purposes, the faithful feel like he's way down on the depth chart.
Yeah,
not what it sounded like right now. It sounded like he might be a part of that regular rotation, a guy that can come in here and make a name for himself. You know, he's got one of those smaller frames, and he gets busy, man. The hand placement and, you know, the focus is something that I heard a couple of defensive players talking about today. I think we're in for a good treat this year.
Yeah.
Now,
go ahead.
What I'm not sure of is how much more we're going to get things mixed up, because when Ebukam was speaking, he said that he's going to do a complete 180 here. You know, when he was in LA, it was more of a read and react type of thing. He said, here, they just want me going one direction. Just get after it. And if anything gets by me, let the people behind me clean it up. So that kind of tells me that the philosophy is going to remain the same, where, you know, those linebackers are watching and playing more assignment type stuff. You know, now that doesn't mean that you won't see packages. That doesn't mean you won't see packages, but it sounds like the basic principles are going to remain the same.
I got you. And see, for me, that's what I want, man. I like a fast-paced defense where you get after the quarterback. And to be honest with you, I don't like zone coverage. I like ball hawks. I like man. I've always loved man coverage. And that's why my favorite defensive back is Deion Sanders. Why? Because he was that was the man. You know what I mean? You got to line up across from him. You know you're going to have a hell of a day. It's going to be a lot of work trying to get past that dude.
You reminded me of something I want to ask you. It's a little off topic, but same.
Yeah.
There was a post going around on Twitter, maybe early last week, maybe even mid last week, and it was Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis, who was better in their prime. I want to get your response on that.
Sure. Automatic. I don't like Darrelle Revis. I never really cared for him. I felt like Darrelle Revis, he was, to me, and I'll just give you an explanation. Darrelle Revis, to me, was a subpar DB as far as his actual coverage skills. So if you put him in zone, he was easier to beat. He never had top-end speed. Neither did Sherm. But Sherm did more in the scheme that he was put in, and he did it better. Darrelle Revis, the little Revis Island thing, that only lasted for like maybe a year or two. You know, Sherm had his prime for a while. Hey, what's going on, Todd? Sherm had his prime for a while, and Sherm picked the ball more, and he knocked the ball down more. I get it. Everybody gives Darrelle Revis this moniker of Revis Island and all that other stuff. But I went back and I watched. I'm sorry, I wasn't impressed. When I looked at Sherm and I looked at what he did, oh, yeah. Uncle Sherm got that by far. And he went on ESPN. He was on First Take and basically said, you know, if he wants to come in and take a look at the stats, don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Numbers tell you that I was better than him in his first 4 years of his career. So for me, it was Sherm all day. I liked Sherm even when he was in Seattle going against us and he used to piss us off. But the reason that I liked him so much was because he was so damn good at what he did. But what is your take on it? Because I feel like you like Revis a little bit better.
Yeah, so, you know, the thing is, Sherman, I think, had a better career and, you know, like you said, maintained his prime maybe longer, more successfully than Revis did. But in their primes, at their peaks, if just that, I'm going with Revis because it's interesting. Revis was the guy I'm following. Whoever your number one is, I want him. Where Sherman, for a large part of his career, just played on that one side of the defense. If you're on the defense, it's on the left side. The offense, you're on the right side. That's what Sherman did. And so, I think if your main job is to go after the biggest and baddest receiver every week, not whoever's on your side, because we can get away from you. We saw the game where Aaron Rodgers completely avoided Richard Sherman, right? So what they do? They moved Jordy Nelson, who was his best receiver at the time, to the other side. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you want to stay over there, then we just going to eat you up on this side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Like now it did work because Rodgers didn't target that side of the field the entire game. So now you can scheme up everything else on the opposite side of the field. But Revis wasn't going out like that. Hey, where's he? Like Revis was the you go on a basketball court and it's like, hey, I got him. That was Revis. And when he was on, like I said, those 2-3 seasons where he was up there, nobody wanted to go up against him. Not a single person wanted to go up against him, man. And I love that. I love that.
And nobody wanted to go up against Nami Asamoah either. And
he in the right system because
he faded to black because when he went to Philly, he was trash.
Yeah, because they ran a different type of, you know what I'm saying? So like these guys are dependent on their systems. But it what triggered my thought on that conversation was you saying how much you appreciate man, how you don't want zone, and so that's what made me think about Revis versus Sherman. So
my thing with that was with Sherm, I allude to what he said. I did my job. My job was not to travel with the best receiver. If they would have told me, Sherm, if Julio Jones is on this field, if Julio Jones goes to the bathroom, be outside the stall. You see what I'm saying? If that would have been the case, I'm 100% sure that Richard Sherman could have done it.
You believe that?
I don't doubt it. I truthfully believe that. I do believe that he could have followed dudes around. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying he's going to lock Julio Jones down every time? No, nobody.
No.
Jones down every time. That is not possible.
But I'm asking if you believe that I was just doing my job, but if they asked me to do whatever, I could have.
Yeah, 120%.
Okay.
We all know that. I'm not going to sit up here and say that Sherm is a man corner. He made his name in that zone defense, and that's where he wound up living. So I respect that. But for me, it's just a player. And at the same time, I honestly didn't like – I get it. Players got to get their money while they're here. But I didn't like Darrelle Revis when he cried because he got a new contract. And then I forget who it was who got paid after him. And then he cried like a little baby just to get a little bit more money. I need to be the high paid DB in the league. Why are y'all shorting me? Look what I do. And your prime lasted about 2-3 years. You wasn't worth nothing. Because you know who was? Prime example. Kevin Barlow. Remember him? Had that one great season. He came to us and said, time to open up the pocketbook. And we looked at him. Bro, you did that once. Ain't nobody opening no pocketbook. He went to the Jets. He got paid. Where's Kevin Barlow now? I don't know. So that's my thing. It was such a short span of time that this lasted. And to me, I don't like that. I'm a person, you got to give me at least a good 2 to 3 years of play like that for me to want to open up the checkbook and say, you know what? Let me go ahead and give you some paper because you've done it for this long. Like Fred? Oh, Fred, yeah. No, you better pay Fred. There is no reason not to. You know why? Because Fred done it. He's been doing it since he walked in here.
Right, and he's improving. He's working on different things all the time. So, yeah, I get that. I respect that a lot.
Yeah. So our wide receivers, we're in a sticky situation, man. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with Deebo Samuel. Technically speaking, he's sort of the number one. You don't necessarily have a number one in Kyle's system because he doesn't necessarily rely on one. And since he's been here, we haven't had a true number one wide receiver. What do you feel of Deebo Samuel being that guy with his size, the speed, the angry running, all of that? Because I honestly think Deebo can be that dude.
I think, my opinion, in an ideal world, Deebo is wide receiver 2.
Okay.
Now, I understand the way that the team like to use him. They like to get the ball in his hands behind the line of scrimmage and let him work because of that same physicality and all that, right? But when I think wide receiver 1, I want somebody who can stretch the field, you can do the short, intermediate, long stuff, and everything in between, the crisp route running and all that stuff. And that's a different guy, in my opinion, that we'll get to later. Now, that is not, let me make myself very clear here. That is not to diminish how good Deebo is and how good I think he can be, because that is not what I'm trying to do. Because if the other guy wasn't here, I wouldn't even hesitate on that who's wide receiver 1. So let me be perfectly clear with what I'm saying. Deebo is the man. And Deebo, it speaks to how good the wide receivers are in the building. So I really like Deebo. My only concern with him, is the concern that everybody has is staying healthy. You know what I mean? That physical style, we've seen it wear down some other players. You know, it just doesn't bode well for certain positions. You know, we see the physicality from even George Kittle, right? And that's going to weigh on him also. I've said it on Nothing But Niners. I'll say it here again. As you know, maybe it's a hot take. I don't know if people haven't caught it or not. I don't think George Kittle will ever play 16 games in the season. Ever. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And we went up 17 now, and I'm still sticking with he won't even play 16 games. And he still won't do it. It's just because he's so damn physical. The run game, pass blocking, run blocking. Like, he's so physical, he is tearing himself up. And he knows it, though. He's conscious of it in the same way with Debo. These guys play a physical brand of ball. They play bully ball. I don't want to run around you. I want to run through you. And that just doesn't bode well for the body, because we do a lot of quick pace stuff and all that. You got to catch your breath and everything. And, I just don't think it bodes well for them long term. But as far as ability goes, I see exactly why you would say Debo is that number one receiver guy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me, I agree with all of those sentiments. And the biggest thing is there's nobody that can do what he does. I worried about his health too. I'd love for him to be on the field for 16 games, but just the way he runs, it just doesn't add up. There's only one person that was able to play bully ball, and that was and able to sustain it for a long period of time. That was Adrian Peterson.
I thought you were going to say Anquan Bolden. I thought you were going to stick with the wide receiver.
Well, no. I'm just looking at a guy who played bully ball. Anquan was able to do that. You are correct, because Anquan was. I say another guy like that I have to say was Hines Ward in Pittsburgh. Hines was the guy you didn't want blocking you, because he was nasty when he blocked. He was so nasty when he blocked. It was unfair. Like, I saw that dude truck some dudes, and
Hines Ward has some dirtiness to him, man. That dude, I enjoyed watching him. I enjoyed watching him. He's a dirty dude.
I liked him. He was nasty, man. And Pittsburgh was real good at taking quarterbacks, turning them into wide receivers. You got Antoine Randall, Cordell Stewart. He was a quarterback, and then they even put him out wide a couple of times. But with Debo, I agree, but I would say that his style of play and what he brings to the table, at least I know at the end of the day, if we need them hard yards, we're going to remind Aaron Donald who he is. Because Aaron Donald was in his feelings after that game. You know who Debo Samuel is. He just Debo'd most of your defensive line. And you're going to sit up here and try to, play coy like, well, I don't know who that is. Really?
Right.
AD, right. As big of a man as you are and as little of a person as he is to your size, you mean tell me that little big person didn't just run over your whole defense? You know who that is. You know. So I expect Debo, honestly, to be at least about 700 and 400 with at least about 10 to 15 TDs. And I'm saying 700 receiving, about 400 rushing. I really expect him to get off. I expect him to get off. I am looking for Debo to take the next step to a point where they're using him so much they forget about the rest of the receivers, and that's what opens the door. Because
and that's what Kyle does well. Kyle does that extremely well. That's exactly what he does well.
Because you think about it, look at it like this: from taking a little bit of a detour here. Jimmy goes in 6 games. He gets hurt in the 6th game. We're 4-2. Trey's got to step in. You know what defenses are doing? Biting their nails. I don't know nothing about this kid. I can't go back and study film on North Dakota State. You know why? Because that ain't what he about to be doing.
Not at all.
I don't know what this kid is doing. Can you imagine a double jet sweep, Trey Lance, a quarterback? You don't know who has the ball. You don't know who's going to get – you don't even want to – as a linebacker, you just sitting there going, I wish I could just go – man. It's like – remember Luke Kuechly when we played the Panthers? He's
literally
one of the best middle linebackers in the league. That man was on the sideline going, I don't even know what are they doing?
Literally ran circles around him, bro.
He was just confused. So that's a scary sight.
Absolutely.
But I will say this. For Debo, I really do expect at least 700 to 400, 10 to 15 touchdowns. And I really hope that he gets off in a way. I don't need Debo to be 1,000-yard receiver. I need Debo to be a 1,000 to 1,500 yards from scrimmage type guy, because that's what he does. He's not a pure wideout. So in that aspect, I could see why you wouldn't have him as number one, because he isn't. He's truly not a pure wideout. When he runs that ball, I think of a baby Adrian Peterson. because he wants to run through you. I watched AP run over many people, and it's not fair. I remember this play so vividly. I was watching the Vikings play, and this was after he came off his ACL injury, and they said he wasn't going to be nothing. Mike, somebody got low, and they got low and were ready. And AP was like, I'm pretty sure in his head he was thinking, "Are you serious right now?
Right? That's what you gonna play me?
You gonna do that to yourself? All right." I feel like, okay, remember NFL Blitz football game? Like, God, I feel like he buried him and put him in a coffin. Like he
oh my God!
I forget, it was a safety too. I don't know what he was thinking, but it's just when Debo runs, he runs angry. So what people saw from Jalen Hurd, that in those few plays, that's how Debo runs all the time.
Right.
So that's why I expect so much out of him. But moving on, I believe this guy is your numero uno. His name is Brandon Aiyuk. Would I be correct in that assumption?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And when I say numero uno, when I say number one, again, that is about receiving, route running, and what he can do as a receiver, not as a weapon. There's a big difference between your number one weapon and your number one wide receiver. And that's what I don't want people to get confused with what I'm saying. I think Debo was a better all-around weapon than Brandon is, but I think Brandon is the number one receiver on this team. Absolutely. This guy is special. And I'll be honest with you, what we saw last year, just MIB pin it. Let it go. Let it go. Because what we saw was very limited. We had a team full of quarterbacks who weren't willing to throw down the field. You know what I mean? And this kid can stretch the field. He can, oh man. If things go the way that we want them to go, come week 10, we're going to really see what Kyle was working on with the idea of the wide receivers that he's drafted these last 2 or 3 seasons. It's going to be special.
Aiyuk, and you can visibly see it. There were several plays last year where he was looking like, bro, I'm wide open. Come on, just put the ball in the air. Don't worry about where it's at. Just do it. I'll go get it. I promise you, I'll get it. Just throw me the damn ball. Like you could literally see. I literally saw him do this.
You saw him do it. You saw Juice do it.
Like he was upset.
Yes.
And I understood it. There was nothing we could do. Nothing. The quarterbacks just were not up to par on that. And I have to agree. Brandon Aiyuk, 1,000-yard receiver this year. Guaranteed.
Oh, you talking big yards from the wide receiver.
1K. Huh? Give me 1,000, Brandon. I need 1,000 about you. I need 1,000, and I need at least 8 to 10 from you. 8 to 10 TDs. And I say 8 to 10 because the ball is going to be spread around. And with the present line as currently constructed, where we technically don't necessarily know who the right guard is because it seems like they're grooming Daniel Brunskill to take over at center rather than right guard, where we've been trying to put him at for the last few years. But injuries have just destroyed that option.
I think they're going to give up the Banks, but remains to be seen.
Look, man, that was telepathy. You read my mind. You Professor X-ray over there.
My bad.
But no, that's exactly what I was saying. I think that he will wind up playing that right guard spot. And I didn't know much about the kid. I went back, hey man, look, you want a mauler. You want somebody who literally might punch your helmet off. This kid Banks. Now I see why McGlinchey was going. Go get him.
Yeah. Bring that mentality here.
Bring that mentality in, because at the end of the day, I want you to go up there and I want you to just literally do exactly what George said. When I take a man and force him to do something against his will, even though that sounds crazy as hell, and you take that to a whole nother direction,
bro.
It's like when remember George in the Atlanta game? He bullied that DB into they caught him laughing.
Yeah, on his back, laughing because the guy couldn't do anything. George completely rolled over him. It was just like, I love this. He was losing it.
What they caught him when he was mic'd up after one of the games, he would run it again. That's the beauty of not having unselfish players. They don't care. I don't need 8. I don't need 150 and 3 touchdowns. If that's spread between me and 2 other people and we win the game, who cares? I'm not losing any sleep at night. We got the W. How
Right.
you
That's
get
what
the
they
win
want.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I learned that about George, but Ayuk, I just see him exploding as long as Jimmy can stay healthy. And if Trey gets in there, it gives you a better option. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I like Jimmy. I do, and I appreciate everything he's done for this franchise. But Trey got a liver arm than him.
Not only that, Trey will give his receivers an opportunity to compete
Yes.
for a 50-50 ball, where Jimmy, he kind of wants that open target. He wants somebody who's got a little bit of separation or whatever, and you're not always going to get that at this level. You're just not.
No.
And so what I would love for the 49ers wide receivers to do, even if it don't work out all the time, is just remember something. Your guy is on offense. He is built and designed to catch the ball. The other guy is on defense. The reason he's not a wide receiver is because he can't catch the ball all the time. So don't worry about the incompletions or the possibility of an interception. Let those guys go up and compete. All that you think about the highlight plays that you see after the season's over, and they do all these best catches and right? It's not the wide open stuff. Those aren't the best catches. It's the ones where it's somebody double teamed or they're jumping over somebody and reaching over them to bring the ball in.
You got lost.
Arms, right. But Brandon Ayuk's arms are made for that. This dude can scratch his kneecap standing up straight.
Like his wingspan is as big as my body.
Right. That's
I'm
what
I'm 5'6". You understand how far that is? That's a ridiculous reach.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like
you gotta let these guys.
Man, you could throw it. You could throw it. I mean, you could put it a couple yards out of bounds, and he could literally stretch out and still go.
Yes,
and come back.
But you gotta give them a chance, and Lance will do those things. Now, it could be some naivety, thinking that he's got a better arm than he thinks or whatever, but he's still gonna do it. He's still gonna do it. And we got some other guys, and you look at all 3 of the guys who got in last year. Those guys are hesitant to do it in those situations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it, and I think Brandon Ayuk shines this year as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the beauty of it is I'm not worried about the line anymore. I'm not scared about the line anymore. That's how I know that these receivers can turn up and turn out and do the things that they needed to do.
Yeah.
So with Ayuk, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and you talked about the guard position. What's even more important than that is that we got that all-pro center and Alex Mack in there now, calling out the protections. You talk about not worrying about the line, bro. Let me tell you, when we got him, Jimmy Garoppolo said, "Oh, thank God."
Hey, look, man.
Thank God. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what happened with Jimmy? You know what that was? You know what that what moment that was? That was that moment where you standing in the elevator holding that fart in, and everybody lets off. And you just let it rip. You've been holding it. It's literally rumbling in your stomach, and you just get off. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
That's how you felt, man. He let that fart out, and he was good. It was such a relief because when you have a guy that literally can tell everybody on the line, this is where I need you to be. This is what you need to do. We need to gel. We need to mesh. The only thing is putting the line together and making them work. So I'm just praying that they know, all right, look, this is what we're doing. And they're not plugging and playing people at the right guard spot because technically speaking, the line just looks like this. Trent, Lakin, Alex, Blank, Mike Lynch.
Yep.
Because we don't know what they're going to do. And I want them to go in with a clear idea. Hey, look, Banks, we drafted you. Get your ass in there, right guard. Daniel, do not trip. You're right behind Alex. Continue to learn from him. Understand it. Go with it. Grow with it. Move on. And we'll have the other guys. But the next guy up, this guy seem to be burning it up in, our little OTAs here. And that's Mr. Juwan Jennings. And I'm very, very happy to hear that. Because I like this dude's size. Yeah. And I like what he brings to the table. Don't get me wrong. I felt a little bad when we wound up drafting Jared Maiden because Maiden did him greasy. And I'm talking about made him look stupid pedestrian when they played Tennessee. But what he possibly can bring to the table is what I'm looking for. The hamstring injury, I don't know what it was, but man, that was probably one of those that just wouldn't go away. You know, I mean, I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. Very happy about that.
Congratulations,
And
man.
I had to just literally try to, you know, I go out and I run every now and then, and you know, I push myself a little bit, and believe you me, man, I was trying to sprint like I used to. Boy, pull the hamstring. Oh, never mind. Ain't doing
Gotta
that.
go home and get that massage gun and get into the.
Oh man,
you gotta put it in there, yeah,
soaking that Epsom salt and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the promise of what Jennings can bring is what I'm banking on, and I think that he is going to explode this season as long as he's healthy. And I think he could possibly lock that 3 spot down as long as he keeps showing up and showing out like he has. What you think?
Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, I heard a lot about his explosiveness coming out of this camp, right? So they said I listened to a lot of different stuff during the offseason because that's when you're going to hear what people really think during the offseason. Because the games, we're all reacting to it, but you're going to hear what people truly think about somebody. And I remember hearing before there was just no explosion. There was no separation. He was just a guy out there kind of going through the motions. And this year you hear something completely different. He has a little bit of burst now, and he's looking more confident in the routes that he's running, and he's plucking the ball out of the air. You know, he's not doing body catches. It's hand grabs and stuff like that. And now, again, this is all in shorts and, you know, whatever. But it's good to hear that there was some progress from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
You know, and now you got him all the way up there as wide receiver 3. Now that's saying something, man. Now that's saying something. Do you think he's got the hips and the footwork to line up as a slot? Or now, when you say wide receiver 3, let me ask you this, because a lot of people say that and they don't mean slot guy like for 3 wide receiver sets. Some people say just their third option. So when you say wide receiver 3, what do you mean by that?
I mean, it's like the third option.
Okay.
I don't mean full-on wide receiver 3. There are a couple of guys that we're going to get to that possibly could really lock a spot down. But I think he's a good third option. You know, like if you decide to put it like this, say we just run with the dudes we got.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to cut a couple of guys, obviously, because we're not going to keep all these receivers.
13.
Of course, I was pissed when we let go of Josh Johnson and signed some dude named Andy Jones. Don't nobody know about it. I knew nothing of this kid. All I saw was Andy. I was like, who are you? Like, it was one of those rock moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Chris Jericho came out and he looked and he said, who in the blue hell are you?
Right.
That's exactly what I thought of Andy Jones. I was like, I don't know who it is. What's happening, Sim? All right, man. You checking in on the drive home. Oh, I saw this comment, man. I got to put this joint up here for you, brother. This one was a funny one for you, man. It's my boy Matt. Yeah, he said you look like you get 20.
I tell you what, Matthew, man, if Ayuk's hair is still this short in 20 years, you got to let it go, bro.
Oh, yeah, you gotta let it go. You gotta let that one go, bro. Yeah, because them dreads should be down to your ankles, man.
Yeah, 20 years, you got to get some. But I understand what he's saying, though. I get it.
Yeah,
I understand
but it for me, man. I look at it like if you put Ayuk out there, then you slide Jennings in at the X or the Y, and then you throw Debo in the slot.
Okay.
Now you scared defenses because you have somebody coming across the middle that does not mind that. Some people come across the middle, they hesitate. I don't want to get hit, man. They take my head off. Even though we're playing in a much more softer league now where, you got the hit on the defensive receiver and all that stuff.
Right.
You still come across that middle the wrong way. Somebody can put their shoulder into you and make sure you know who they are.
Lights
and
out. Yeah.
Debo, he doesn't care about that. I want you to put your shoulder into me. And I pray to God that you wrap up, because if you don't, I'm just going to do nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Pushing.
Yep.
So that's what I mean when I say that Jennings could really be that dude. Because as long as he continues to wind up meshing with the right QBs, he'll be fine. Because I think he's going to wind up getting work with Trey. I'm taking the wife to the KC preseason game. We're gonna go out there to Santa Clara and have a good time. And she, she hasn't been around the faithful like that. So I don't care, but I told her already be crazy because she's a Cowboys fan. So her fan base is already through the roof. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't watch a lot like she used to, but at the end of the day, she understands the rabid fan base that is Dallas Cowboys, biggest fan base in the world. I still don't understand how, but
they buy their fans.
I mean, I've never understood that. But yeah, we're gonna go to that KC game, man, and have a good time. Then my boy, he's a Charger fan. He's got tickets to the last preseason game with the Chargers, so I'm going to that one too in SoFi. So that right. I had to shoot y'all some pictures of SoFi, man, because I did a virtual tour and that place is cracking. But
yeah, looks crazy, man.
But I think that Jauan Jennings is just going to be a dude that people are not going to expect to show up. And he's going to just come out of nowhere and people are going to be looking like, damn, I didn't know he could do all that, and show us what we saw at Tennessee. Show us the other days outside of the Jared Maiden day, because that wasn't a good showing for him.
I think the Jauan Jennings signing was in case someone else didn't work out who hadn't worked out so far. Okay. And when we get to him, I'll point that out. And so I'm gonna say that as of right now, I think I got Jennings as wide receiver 4 or 5.
Okay.
I think I got 2 people ahead of him.
Okay.
Right now. Now again, injuries and all that. I'm assuming that everyone's healthy and they're gonna play the way I expect them to play. I got him as like 4 or 5. But I could definitely see what you're saying, because it depends on the packages. Kyle is building a beast, man. You're talking about Jennings. He's 6'3". You know what I'm saying? We were up here. We were talking about Debo. He's 6 even. We're talking about Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? Like, these guys all have decent size. I'm saying decent, but they're 6 foot and bigger.
Yeah.
This is 6'3" we're talking about now, and they all play with this physicality. You know what I mean? They all play with this physicality. And I'm thinking that, with the looks of the offensive line, look at what we did at running back. Maybe that's what Kyle's game plan is this year. Maybe it's a more physical brand of football than this finesse, open space type of thing. Sometimes you can't scheme everything open. Sometimes you just got to be the stronger guy. You got to have the bigger will. And that's where a guy like Jennings is going to come in there.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next dude. And everybody knows how I feel about this cat. I think you even heard me on him. And that's Jalen Hurts.
And that's the guy I think Jennings was brought in to replace.
Because I'm supremely disappointed. You feel bad for dudes when they have injuries. Injuries are unavoidable. Some people, I know people hate when I say this. Some people are just fragile. Things just happen to them all the time. It's very unfortunate. Look at Jason Verrett. Mm-hmm. Coming out of college, I was praying to God we got him. Because I saw the odd look. I said, no, he's going to be a bad man. To quote Stephen A. Smith. But what happened? Injury.
Right.
Continue. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is when he's healthy, look at last year.
Right.
Who shuts down DeAndre Hopkins?
In the league.
He shut down D-Hop.
Right.
You know how hard that is?
Yeah. Yep.
That D-Hop ain't that ain't no walk in the park. That man, I tell you, he is a top 3 receiver in the league. It's not even close, and they don't even give him his credit.
Right. I've never seen it before either. I don't get, and he is always mentioned up there, but not like they don't glow about him the way they should. You know what I mean?
No, they should, because how you catch a ball like this under you? What? He put his hand under his leg, caught the ball, and still got what? Yeah. That
guy's body control, the way he can contort and support his body, the sideline, his field awareness, and where he is down in distance. B-Hop is
and his hands are massive.
Yes.
That's one thing. So for me, if healthy, I don't know what to expect, honestly. I don't know what to expect because I'll use a basketball analogy. Do we know that his mental wherewithal is going to be strong enough to just go out there and play? You know why? Because I'm a diehard Bulls fan. I was very upset with Derrick Rose, but I got it. He was scared. Like he didn't want to go out there and get injured again. So is his mental wherewithal going to be strong enough for him to just go out there, let it fly, and not think, damn, if I plant the wrong way, I'm going to get this. If I do this, I'm going to get that. Like I don't know.
Let's stick with the Derrick Rose thing, right? Because Derrick Rose right now is
balling.
willing Philly. I mean, I'm sorry, the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's the one keeping them in games right now, right? Like he's all of a sudden become the heartbeat, not Randall, who everyone was bigging up. He all of a sudden, these guys go through stuff mentally and they have to get there. And I think Hurd's, it's crazy because I just recently heard some stuff about this guy, but I don't want to put that out there yet. But coming out of college, the reason I was so excited about him is his desire in college. This guy went from one position, running back
to wide
receiver. You know what I mean? And look at the people he was holding off. The transfer was so I can continue to do what I think I want to do. Right. Yeah. But I'm going to transfer because this is what I really want to do, and I want to do this. And I like that about him. So that showed me mental toughness already. That showed me mental grit, desire, toughness. Injuries are injuries. They're freak injuries. Like you said, look at Jason Verrett. No one ever questioned Jason Verrett's desire to play ball because every offseason he was out there getting after it. I want to get back. I want to get back. I want to get back. Boom, injured. I want to get back. I want to get back. I want to get back. Boom, injured. But you never question his desire to do it. I don't question Hurd's desire to do it. I just think that the injuries got the best of him. Okay. Now, I could be way wrong. I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to anybody around him, his agent. I haven't talked to anybody in his circle. Only little birdies from the facility. That's the only word and talk that I got. And I'm telling you now, if this young man is healthy, and his name was not on that long list of injury reports that I saw today. Okay. Did you see that?
I didn't even get a chance to see it. What happened?
Oh, hold on. We got a long laundry list. Hold on. Where is it? Where is that shit?
I mean, at least I saw what happened with Jeff, but Jesus Christ. We don't need more people just on the sideline.
Where the hell is that list at? Oh, I can't wait to read this to you, man. Hold on. Tart was on there. Oh, where is it? I'm going to find it. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
Where the hell is this list at? I got so many damn messages. I know it's in this thread. Here we go, right here from Matt Mayoko. Nathan Gary, Achilles. Jaquaski Tart, toe. Marcel Harris, groin. Travis Benjamin, calf. Richie James, hamstring. Brandon Ayuk, groin. Raheem Mostert, knee. Maurice Hurst, shoulder. Who
was the last guy?
Maurice Hurst.
I don't know.
So but that's all today.
Yeah.
That was the injury report from today. The one name I didn't see that got me excited
was Jalen Hurd not being there. That's good.
Hurd not being on that list. Now, it's symmetry. It doesn't say that he tore it. It just said that's what was bothering him.
Oh, okay.
It's just what was bothering him. So I'm not saying that he's out. Yeah. I'm just saying that's what was bothering him. And so my point though is
he said Hurst is a defensive tackle.
That's the guy from Carolina. That was the guy that we picked up from Carolina.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but I haven't. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. Like I'll catch up with the signings like later, but when they're lackluster, like this dude, I've never even heard of him. Honestly, it literally go right over my head.
He's right. The guy from the Raiders. The guy from the Panthers was somebody else that we signed. That was a bigger sign. People think he could be a starter, actually. But I was really excited to not see Jalen's name on this list. I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yes.
And if he is healthy, he's wide receiver 3 or 4 because He's got the hips. He's got the footwork. He's got the size. You talk about size. Remember we were talking about
what
how
he's
big
6'4"?
Jennings is. He's 6'5". This dude is 6'5", still grow. Like this guy is a physical freak. I know what we saw. I know what we saw in the Cowboys preseason game that made everybody fall in love with him and all, right? But it's more than that. I like I said, from college, that mental desire to want to go out and do something and do it well. And people say, oh, well, he's a running back that converted the wide receiver. But go back and watch him. Go watch his movements. This guy's got good feet, good hips. He can catch. He's a good pass catcher. Like he can run good routes. He's so underrated and so slept on that I just think, like you talk about Jauan Jennings being the surprise. Oh, yeah. This guy could be the surprise if he puts it all together.
Okay. So I'm hoping he's healthy. I'm hoping he's got it all up here together and he can do that. I'm going to go a little – I'm going to veer off the path for just 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. I need your thoughts on your boy, man. What's Mr. Witherspoon talking about here?
He ain't lying. He ain't telling that now lie. Witherspoon didn't tell not now lie.
Mike, I know you are not serious.
Yes, sir, I'm very serious. He ain't telling not now lie. He said, when I was healthy, I played the best corner in the league. I was the best corner in the league when healthy. That man is not lying at all. He's not lying, bro. He's not lying.
Okay, we're going to go back to the wire. No, Mike. No. There ain't no way that man was the best corner in the league. The best corner in the league was Xavier Howard. Last time I checked, he was the one balling. He was the one picking the ball up. If listen to me, if Ahkello Witherspoon is the best corner in the league, then when he has a bad game, it won't end his career. That man has a bad game and it just shuts him down. Like he mentally he doesn't function after that. But I can't give in to him being the best corner in the league.
Even that's not true. Ahkello has never had a game where he gave up more than 4 catches. Never. Not one. Not one time did he ever have a game where he gave up 4 catches, bro. Not one time. But see, people see this, oh, there was a touchdown or he fell. Oh, we got to bench him, right? But people hold him to this different standard. And why, I don't know. They had Mosley give up 15 catches in the game. Nobody killed him. You know what they did? They made excuse. Well, that was DeAndre Hopkins. That was this guy. We came up with all these excuses. 2-3 games later, 11 catches or 12 catches in the game. We keep making excuses for Mosley. Ahkello Witherspoon has never once in his entire career allowed more than 4 receptions in the game. Never. Ever. Never. People talk about, oh, DK burned him. You know that DK only has 4 catches on Ahkello Witherspoon his entire time here? Only 4 catches on Ahkello Witherspoon total. And that wasn't all in one game either. That was not all in one game. But see,
I gotta find these stats. He's never given up more than 4 catches.
Not one time in his entire career. Not one time. But people remember the big plays. You know how Mike McGlinchey will have a solid game and then it's like 3rd or 4th down and he was
and then he's
by him. And then everyone's like, oh, he's trash. But before that point, he was having a really fucking good game. But you gave it up in the biggest moment of the whole game. And so that's what people remember. We as people were short-sighted. Yeah. And so even last year, I defended Mike McGlinchey. I said, he's not as bad as what y'all are saying. He was just now, but see, that's it right there. No, but Symmetry's right. That's not funny. Yeah. Put it back up there. He's right. Because Ahkello's words were when I was healthy. He wasn't healthy. He wasn't healthy all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's what people forget is that it wasn't just people harped on I was the best corner. No, he said when I was healthy. And he was not healthy a lot. And that's the thing. That's the caveat. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. If you're not healthy, you can't declare yourself numero uno. Because you have for me, that goes back to what I said earlier. You got to string together some consistency.
Yes, sir.
To say words like that. I get when you were healthy, and I didn't know that stat about Ahkello. I didn't because when we drafted him and I looked at his size, he was the perfect prototypical DB that you want. He has everything, the physical stature, everything that you want in a defensive back. He embodies, but then you get on the field and you're like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that stat that you brought out, so I'll give you that.
It's true.
That is a freakish stat. That is a very freakish stat. But the thing is, if you don't have full seasons to go along with those stats,
right.
I can't jump on board and give you the props for that.
It's very similar to what you said earlier about Jason Verrett. When he's out there and he's healthy, that boy looks like the best
he's a monster
in the league. But you gotta
but Verrett shuts people down. I'm not saying Verrett hasn't had a bad game. I'm not saying that there's not been times where Verrett's been ate up. It happens to everyone. But I'll tell you right now, on any given day, I'll take Jason Verrett before I take Ahkello Witherspoon. Automatic.
You know what? I tell you what, I'm not mad at that because they're both really, really good. I thought that was the best combination we could have had, and that included Richard Sherman healthy and all. I thought that those two were the best. Yeah,
because they can play. They both can play man.
Right.
We all know Sherman's a liability in man coverage to an extent.
Right. And that's what I liked about those two guys together. But people think I'm crazy. Go back and watch the start of the 2019 season.
I know about that. I know. No, his first 2 games were ridiculous. Yeah. No, I knew about that. I looked at that and said he's poised for a ridiculous season.
If that boy didn't hurt in the season,
and that was it. That shut the rest of.
And that's why it's so hard to defend him, is because I stand by what he said when he's healthy.
Yeah.
But that win is it's not frequent enough, so you can't. You know what I'm saying? So when you put that statement out there,
yeah.
Could it be factual? Well, the best is also a matter of someone's opinion, right? But statistically, he's correct. The problem is we don't know when you're healthy. We know when you're out there, like that Dolphins game when Brian Allen was thrown out there to get sacrificed, Dodge, right? Yeah. And then they switched and put him in there. He wasn't completely healthy, but he still had a good game after that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's little stuff like that. Like you just gotta take the whole statement, not just part of it. That's all. And it wasn't enough. He was not healthy enough. I will say. I will absolutely say.
All right, so we gonna get back into the receiver. We're gonna move on to your guy, and I'm just gonna throw him out there because you gonna have the floor on this one because I'm just gonna throw out some numbers. This is your dude. I hear this is your main man, Mr. Kevin White. I hear you like Mr. White. Right? Listen to me.
Jersey in the building.
All right, so Kevin White, for his career, he's been in the league
5 years.
5 years.
Well, this will be the start. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the start of the 5th year for Kevin White. Kevin White has 25 receptions for 285 yards. That's an 11.4 yard average, which is not bad. Kevin White does not have a touchdown at all, ever. He has been injured since he set foot on the grass of the NFL. Yes. Coming out of college, this man was highly touted.
Yes, sir.
As one of the best receivers in that draft.
Yes, sir.
But what I will say is bust. I do not see anything that gives me any reason for no cause to pause, no nothing. You can't stay healthy at all. And it's unfair to the guy, but that to me automatically, after 4 years, that just says, bro, it's time to hang the cleats up. It ain't just, I don't know what you're going to do because not even one TD. He barely even, I think it says right here that he played the maximum amount. He's only played 4 games at a maximum in one season.
Yeah, the injuries are bad. He was on bad teams. Look, I'm not going to make excuses for the guy. I am excited about him because of the potential. So let me be clear here.
Okay.
I still think that there's untapped potential. And for some reason, he is sticking on this 49ers roster. They could have walked away from him. And they didn't.
I don't know why.
And that's what excites me. It's only that. That's the only thing that I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, he's gonna come in here and be this guy. No. Let's not. Mike's. I'm crazy. I go hard for my Jersey guys, but I'm not that crazy. I'm not. I'm not that crazy. Kevin White is still full of a lot of untapped potential, and that's a dangerous word in the NFL. Potential is dangerous, right? But you get him in the right situation, right circumstance, maybe you can see who he is. I'm not saying that he's who we thought he was going to be coming out of college. I'm not saying that he's going to, I mean, when that guy was in West Virginia just tearing shit up, just tearing it up. You know what I'm saying?
Murdering folks.
Right. And so I don't know if he can put it together. Sometimes the leap from college to the pros is just too much for somebody. Maybe that's the case. So remember I told you I was going to try to work on something. Remember when we were talking about doing the show? So I recently bought a car, and the guy that sold me my car knows Kevin White and his family.
Oh, okay.
And so I sent him some texts, and I was like, "Yo, when's the last time you talked to the Whites?" Like, I'm about to do a show with wide receivers. I want to see if I can get him to pop in here just to say what's up real quick. The guy's like, "All right, I'll get back to you," but I never heard back from the guy. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if I could get him just to pop in on the show real quick and say what's up. But he's got the size, he's got the speed, and he actually has pretty good hands, but we just haven't seen him put it together on the pro level. That's all.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, man, because you think about it like, man, all the potential just wasted, because the guy just can't stay healthy. I just, for me, you're right. Him sticking around says something.
It's curious, right?
It makes it a curious call. Like them waiting out Jalen Hurd, at least he gave you a couple plays that said, okay, I want to see what potentially can happen with this young man, but let's see what happens as far as he is. I don't see him making the squad. I see him being stashed on the practice squad, if at all possible. I don't know if he can because of his tenure in the league. But I don't know. The next guy.
Well, like you said, he's only played in 4 games a season. I don't think he's got a total of 32 games under his belt yet, right?
Not at all.
So he should still be practice squad eligible.
Okay, so
he doesn't have 2 accrued seasons yet. So
I see him getting stashed there just because we don't I'm not going to count on this guy because he was healthy last year and they just put him on the sidelines to watch the game. Like what? I'm sorry if I haven't played. And I know I feel I have freakish, but you better put me on the damn field. I'm in coach's ear. Coach, why can't I play? Coach, let me get in the game. Coach, I've been sitting on the sidelines. I'm ready. I'm healthy. Coach, I don't care if you think I'm going to tear my ACL when I step on the field. Coach. Like, I'm in your ear bugging the crap out of you until you go, oh, my God, somebody just give him a play and leave so he can shut up and leave me alone.
But you don't want to get in Shanahan's doghouse because we've seen what that can do.
Yeah, he did. You see what he did? I don't understand why he did it to Akello.
Yeah.
He put Akello in the doghouse and he never got out.
Yeah.
But we got Mohamed Sanu.
Another Jersey guy.
This to me, I'm curious about this. Because I remember Sanu when he was over there playing with Ocho in
Cincy, yeah.
I remember that. And he made a name for himself.
Flip play. I don't know if you remember that the play that blew up. He flipped and landed it and everything. He's got touchdown passes.
Yeah, he made a name for himself there, and that's how he wound up going to Atlanta and getting paid, Right. And of course, we know Kyle knows him, so that's probably why he's here.
Right.
But I'm really confused. Like, what can we do with him when we barely even put him on the field?
Right. 10-year veteran, familiar with the system. We have to remember what Kyle Shanahan does every single offseason. He goes out
somebody who knows.
That knows the system so that there are another set of coaching eyes in the room. Now, I'm not saying that's all he's going to do because this guy was back and forth on the roster. He got some snaps last season. I don't know if he had any receptions or not, but I know he was on the field a couple of times.
Yeah.
So, he's somebody that, if the injury start pouring in, whatever. But I don't think that you talk about, Kevin White not making the roster. I can see him not making the roster also. But he's a 10-year veteran. Went to school at Rutgers. Again, shout out to Jersey. Oh, damn, they said that flip was Jerome Simpson. I thought that he's right though. The skinny ass. Yeah, that was Jerome Simpson. He's right. He's right.
He said skinny ass legs.
Yeah, he's 100% right about that. That's right.
Yeah.
But he's the veteran. He's the guy. I don't know if you remember, we signed this tight end, Logan Paulson. Paulson, Shanahan's first year here. It was to teach the tight ends in the room the system. That's all it was. Like it was no one that they ever expected to catch, maybe even get on the field. Just get these guys in here. He just filled this whole team with guys who knew his system. Pierre Garçon, stuff like that. I feel like that's what his role is here. I feel like that's Mohamed Sanu's role here. 6'2", 6'3" guy. I think he's 6'2". Like I said, 10-year veteran. If you needed to, you could put him in the pinch. But I think that if the game were to get down to where Mohamed Sanu had to be in there, we're already in trouble.
Yeah.
That means we're decimated at the wide receiver position.
So guy there to be able to watch. Okay, I like that. That's definitely good reasoning behind Mohamed Sanu. Kind of see him winding up in the same situation, possibly, doing what we can to get him there. The kid that I think just doesn't get a fair shot, Richie James.
Here we go.
I'm going to
say it right now.
Doesn't get a fair shot. And I don't know. There's a million reasons why people tell me why he's not on the field. But it just never makes any sense. I get it. I wouldn't put him in the return game either because he just doesn't do well. But as far as in the game, like every preseason that Nick Mullins was here, him and Richie had this beautiful rapport. And they seemed to just mesh well. They were just, like two little peas in a pie. But you never saw Richie during the season. And I don't understand why. Some people say he can't pick up the playbook.
Right.
Some people say, he's just not ready. And I'm like, but when you give him opportunities, he seems to make a little bit of something for himself. Symmetry is saying he's soft. I don't know.
The soft thing comes from his lack of willing to make contact with people. Even in the return game, he's the type where he'll run as fast as he can, but then let me get out of bounds. Don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't want to be hit. He shies away from contact. But you guys got to remember, like Richie James isn't like this big 6 foot. He's 5'9", 185, and he's not this big giant monster receiver like Debo coming in 6 foot but 200. He's not that guy. I do think this though. When Trey Lance gets in, am I going to go on record and say when Trey Lance gets in, right, Richie James is wide receiver 3. Ooh. Yes. So another thing that has to happen is that remember we talked about someone being willing to give you a shot.
Yeah.
Like you just said, every time Richie's number was called in those games, he showed some stuff. Packers game, Washington game, now we were scraping the bottom of the barrel at wide receiver depth, but he did it, right? I don't know if it's the routes that he's running. I don't know what it is, but what Lance is going to allow us to do is play a little bit of backyard football. Jimmy Garoppolo's not wired that way. CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, they're not wired for that. A play breaks down. Who can I find? Richie James is, Trey Lance is, and that's where I think you see the rapport take a step forward. If Richie James makes this roster, when Trey Lance gets in, I think that's his wide receiver 3.
Ooh, that's a serious take right there. I dig that. I dig that in a serious way because
that's your soundbite right there.
You definitely for real. And you know what? When I go to that game, that Kansas City game, I'm gonna be looking for that.
That's right.
I'm gonna look for that. And if that happens, I'll jump right on Twitter live. Hey, look, shout out to 49ers Mike Collins, baby. Richie James is the man. He out there making them look bad. He's shitting on them.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Benjamin.
Okay.
I get it. Kyle, a little bit of the system. Like, I understand it. But, outside of your return specialties, there's not much from you. Like, I think he had like one season where he actually had some real receiving yardage and he could have been called a receiver. And I think that was back in Cleveland.
Yes.
But it wasn't anything spectacular. He said if Richie James makes his roster to be top wide receiver. Symmetry out here killing me.
Yo, he got to be stopped.
Hey, yo, man. Usually that's John B's job. symmetry.
Nah, man, yo, you can't do my man Richie like that. Look, bro, honestly, I think that some players are better with the off-script stuff than others are, and I think that Kyle. I think what Richie's biggest issue is that if he knows the ball's not possibly coming to him, everything he does is lackluster. You know what I mean? But if he knows he's got an opportunity, he steps up more. You watch Richie James in the games that he played well in, right? Yeah. Like that Packers game, that wasn't like he put up numbers that's surprised. I think it was like 180 yards or something like that and a couple touchdowns or whatever. But if you watch the game, it wasn't like, wow, this guy really he was just consistent. He was a steady Eddie because he knew there was an opportunity for him to get the ball. He was a little bit more committed to running the routes all the way. He was a little bit more committed to fighting for separation and, doing something else with it. But you see him in other games where he's spelling somebody just for a second. He's half-assing it out there.
Yeah, because he's like, they ain't coming to me, so why should I care?
Right. But I think that, like I said, I think he can shake it up a little bit, man. You're not going to call him.
Howie McBeal did. So I looked it up, and Travis Benjamin's best season was in 2015. He had 68 catches for 966 yards, 14.2 yards per catch, and 5 TDs.
But that wasn't with Kyle though. That was with
that was. I don't know who that was with because
was he with the Chargers? Was that?
No, that was Cleveland. That was Cleveland.
That was still with Cleveland. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. But yeah, so I think he was brought in to be the return guy. I think him and Richie have similar statures. I think one's 5'9", one's 5'10", weights off by about like 10 pounds, 5 or 10 pounds. I think that they brought him in here to push Richie. One of you two are going to do what we want you to do, and then we'll keep whichever one.
Travis Benjamin is 5'10", 175.
Okay. Yeah, and Richie's like what 5'9", 180,
yeah, roughly about they right around the same. You're right. They're right about that. But I mean, Benjamin's known for his return ability,
right?
But I think Benjamin's got a problem, and his problem is named Ambry Thomas. He got some return ability too. So
you think they're going to put the rookie out there for that? Ambry Thomas should be a starter.
Why not? Why not? If he doesn't beat out, because to tell you the truth, the DBs look like this. I'm gonna get to him, Sim, because I don't even know. I don't know much about him. I don't know who he is, what he's done, and I personally don't even care for him. But I'm gonna get to him. But the DBs, you would think technically JV and Mosley. Technically, and putting the shark in at nickel because that's where he plays. But to be honest with you, with the guys that we drafted, I don't think Mosley has that spot locked down. I think it's up for grabs. I'll tell you right now, you're not unseating JB. So just mark him in as number one cornerback. You just scratch him off the list. He's not. I love how Kyle and John come out and they go, we don't have any starters. Yeah, you do. There are guys that have bona fide positions that are starting. You just and gullible fans are like, oh, well, no, nobody is. Are you stupid? You mean tell me that? Okay, so Justice School starting over Trent Williams? No, he's not. Right.
But they're politicking. That's podium politics.
Yeah, and I mean that's just what it is.
Because if you come out and say he's your starter. If you come out and say, yeah, he's definitely our corner one, talking about JV, then why is my salary only 5? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what starters get. That's not that's not corner one. So that's what that is. That's podium politics in there.
But I honestly think that with Travis, that's probably the only reason he's really here. I don't see him coming out to be a receiving threat for any reason. I'd see him buried as like 4 or 5 wide out, just because that's what technically he was brought here for. And then he opted out because of COVID and we were stuck with Richie. So now basically Richie's on the outs if Travis can stay healthy, which you just said he was injured. But if Travis can stay healthy, Richie's on the outs because he's, they're going to go with the guy who has more dynamic ability and who isn't going to run away from contact.
Right. I think it's one or the other. I really, really do. Yep.
Okay.
Damn, you said something I was gonna tell. Oh, you said with the guys we drafted, I don't think Mosley is a lock.
No.
Right. What I was gonna say was even without the guys we drafted, Mosley's not a lock because you got to remember at the end of the year he couldn't even unseat DJ. I said DJ, but
Dante.
Yeah. He couldn't unseat him. Now, but where I was going with that was it might actually be a good idea to have a corner as your return man because if you're returning, that means the offense is coming out. Yeah. Let him return and go sit down.
Yeah. And he's not gassed.
Right.
He's not gassed after that. Yeah, he's relaxing. Exactly. And you don't have to worry about spelling the guy because why? He wouldn't sat down any damn way.
Right.
Unless
he takes one to the house.
Right.
Or he takes one to the house. Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And see, the thing is like I looked at it, and of course, Diamador Lenore, everybody looked in there like, and I'm still looking at it. I'm looking at the way his name is spelled and wondering how you could screw that up. But then that's just me. I'm an English guy. That was my favorite subject. So, I know how to break down syllables and put the sounds and everything together. But I'm pretty sure people did destroy his name. And then they called him Demo.
Right.
So it's a little bit different. But Trent Sherfield, Sim mentioned him in the comments. Please enlighten me because I don't know nothing.
I would be lying to you if I said I knew anything about this guy. I know he's a 6'1" guy. And I think he's a return specialist. I really think that's what his forte is, his niche in the NFL. He's a special teams guy. One of my biggest complaints about the team last year, other than the obvious injuries and all that, but our special teams has been lackluster for a while.
Yeah.
It's been lackluster for a while, and I think the team made a concerted effort to go out and get guys like Travis Benjamin, Sherfield. Like we need a spark. We need a spark. You think about, remember that Seattle game that we actually ended up winning? When
Nick started?
Was it Nick Mullins started?
Yeah, but I think Nick was the starter.
The game was getting really one-sided until Richie James had that big return.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just rejuvenated the entire team. Offense and defense just suddenly woke up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have lacked that for 3 straight seasons, maybe even longer. We just don't have it. We don't have it. And so I think it's important that we get somebody that can just provide that spark and just go, like give us something to stand up about. Oh, we're not starting at the 25 this time. We're not starting at the 20. We starting at the 40. We got, 2 first downs and we getting a field goal. Well, not if Robbie Gold's still the kicker, but that's 3 first downs and we getting a field goal. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Don't come on now. We gotta be honest here, yo. I saw the Niners punt 4 times within field goal range for another kicker. So I'm just saying, Robbie's here. You got to keep it inside 42-yard attempts. Like that. That's what you got to do.
Look, to be honest with you, as far as that goes, I'm gonna say this, and I watched this young kid. I like him, and I don't know why he's not in the league. And it really frustrates me because there's plenty of kickers out there that are trash and have a job. Young man by the name of Donald De La Haye, a.k.a. Destroying. If you have not seen that kid on YouTube, this kid kicks. And when I say he kicks, I'm talking he kicks.
Is this the kid? Does he punt also?
Yes.
Bro, I have been wondering why teams waste a roster spot having a kicker and a punter.
You had to do 2-2-1.
Right.
And he's a damn good punter. And he sat up there, he trained with Marquette King.
Oh, man.
So that's a dude that was in the NFL. Like, come on, man. The young kid needs a shot. Mm-hmm. Believe you me. And if he was there, if we had a situation, I would rather put that young kid on the squad. I don't care about what he does with YouTube.
Right.
I'm going to pay him, and he's going to come in and do his job.
Right.
When he gets off, whatever, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But while you're on the field, I've seen too many situations where the young kid does what he's supposed to do. But so we got Andy Jones.
This is the young man that we just signed. Everybody was hoping on June 1st that we got Julio Jones, And the team said, no, we're going to get a Jones, but not that Jones, a Jones, Andy.
Yeah.
And so
everybody thought that was the thing. It was like, yo, man, we got Julio. No,
the other guy.
Just,
all I know about this guy is that he hasn't played in like 3 years.
Yeah.
I think it was 2018. I think is what I saw. Something like that was the last time he was like on a team. I don't know. I can't explain it. I have nothing. I'm hoping he's like a good gunner on special teams.
Yeah.
Is that his niche? I don't know.
I don't know nothing about him. I'll tell you this. We got one guy left, and this is John V's favorite person. John loves this guy. John thinks he's going to be a starter in this league, and he is going to just blow everybody out the water. And I'm lying because John does not like this kid. He hates him. River Cracraft.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Benny Fowler. I thought that's
no. I was gonna get to Fowler, but I still don't understand. I mean, but those are the last two. It's Fowler and Cracraft.
Yeah. You want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Oh, you go right ahead. You take both of them. I don't know nothing about Cracraft. I saw a Twitter video of him running like some little quick routes, and everybody in the comments, oh man, he's gonna be great. He's gonna do. I'm like, bro, you ain't running against nobody.
Running against
you gonna look. I would look fantastic out there running routes, not with nobody not covering me. Yeah, who wouldn't? But I mean. There it is. John B said it best. He was named near the boat dock.
This guy. All right. So what happened was the Niners were looking for a replacement for Trent Taylor.
Yeah.
And then here comes this guy, similar build, similar skill set. And just like Trent Taylor, I think the Niners realized they didn't have much of a need for him.
Yeah.
And I think he's here by default. Now, I will say that I saw some more stuff on him this offseason. Looks like he put on some more weight. Looks like he got a little bit more solid, but I don't think durability was his issue. I don't think he was injured. He just couldn't get in. And there was a game where somebody was like feeding him one game. Oh, it was a game we got destroyed. Don't get me wrong, but it was like third or fourth quarter. I think he ended up with like 4 or 5 catches. Let me see if I can pull up his stats.
Yeah, I got him.
Oh, you got him. There was a game that he had a couple catches in. They were like force feeding him. I think they were force feeding him in that game, and it was like the end of the game. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why is this happening?
Yeah, hold on, it's coming up right now.
I don't know what his I don't know what his purpose is.
Neither do I.
And that's no disrespect at all. If he can carve out something, then cool, come in here and do it, But if not, then
yeah, he had. What did he do? Oh, this just a kick and punt return. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he had 6 receptions for 41 yards.
There you go.
What game
was that? Oh, it don't say.
It doesn't say. Yeah, it just tells me he had 6 for 41. Yeah, he only appeared in 9 games, but just 6 for 41, 6.8 yards per catch. That's
Yeah. So
yes, you are right. Symmetry. I have a list, and we were going through. He was saying Austin Watkins Jr.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's excited.
Cousin of Sammy Watkins, right?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that probably just a little speedster, maybe another special teams dude. The guy I want to see shine on special teams is Mr. Hufanga. I want to see what he can do. He said he wanted to be special teams player of the year. And anybody that hangs out with Troy Polamalu, I want him on the team.
Right.
That man, Troy was he played in the era where you come across that middle, that literally was the kill zone. You remember that with Deshaun and Hittner. They come through, lay out, and there wasn't no defenseless receivers. You were defenseless because if you came across that kill zone, it's a very good shot. You was going to die.
Right.
But, I think, yeah, it's. I mean, Austin Watkins Jr. I've heard a little bit about him. Heard he's a good route runner, nice little speedster type kid, but I don't know too much on him really.
I what I like about him is his consistent pursuit to do this. He hasn't given up yet. This kid started from community college. You know what I mean? And then he transfers to Alabama at Birmingham. So not,
Okay.
Gotcha. And he 3 years playing, and less than 100 receptions. I think like 1,700 yards and a couple touchdowns. I don't know. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm not saying anything positive. I don't know. Yeah. I know a lot of people were excited about him. They were like, "Oh, he's like the top. He's the top like undrafted free agent wide receiver. You should go after him. You should go after him." Okay. Last time people got me excited about that, I don't know if you remember, KD Cannon.
No, I don't remember that dude. Yeah, that's probably why.
People were hyped as hell about KD Cannon, and if I'm not mistaken, Kendrick Bourne took his spot on the team. So,
I miss that kid. I miss him already.
Yeah, really he was a hardworking guy, and same thing. People highlight the negatives and say, "Oh, he had all these drops. He had all these drops." People were saying how bad of a year he had when it was a year that he had 3.
Debo had more drops than him last year, didn't he?
Oh man, it was Debo's first
year. Did Kittle have more drops than him too?
Yeah. I remember Debo's rookie year. He had like 9 drops. Mm-hmm. And people were killing Bourne for drops, and he only had 3. It's just weird, like watching again how the moments that things happen in, they affect us more than what reality is, and it is what it is. But somebody's gonna replace the numbers for KB on this team. Somebody's gonna do it, and I'm riding with either Jalen Hurd or Richie James. Those are my guys.
I'm a ride with Juwan Jennings or Jalen.
I like it. Okay. Oh, you put her back.
I'm a cut him some slack.
I like it.
He better stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He better stay healthy because the minute he drops, what's happening, Cali? He better stay healthy because the minute he winds up on that damn injury report, you can kiss him goodbye for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. And I felt for him the first year because I understand back issues. I have them. Like I messed up the small of my back when I was a child. I was only like 8 or 9. I literally was paralyzed from the waist down. Oof. And like, what I'm saying? I still deal with that to this day. But doctors telling my mom get ready for a wheelchair and all kinds of crap. And black mothers, they look at you, we gonna pray this away. This ain't happening. He gonna get up and he gonna do
what he all kind of anointed oil on you, didn't she?
Look, hey man, I tell you, I was so drugged up. Like all I remember was there was a bunch of people in the room and they were all praying. And when I woke up, I could stun in my growth. Sim, I swear.
I told y'all to take that man's keyboard away from him, man.
Sim, okay, let me tell you this. All right, nothing stunning my growth. I'll give you a caveat. My mother is 5'3", so is my father. I am 5'6", so I surpassed both of them. So
the giant in the room. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, with that, I woke up and literally moved my big toe. And I kid you not, the doctor came in the room and he looked and he said, from the injury that he sustained, there is no way he should be moving anything below his waist. What I will tell you is, this is how I know God is real. Mm-hmm. This has been too many times I've seen things. I've looked at x-rays and there aren't things that are supposed to be happening. People come in and pray. Next thing you know,
there it is.
Somebody's right. So he said, he looked at me and he said, take your time. And I did. I had to learn how to walk and everything, man. So I felt for him with that back injury. I really did. Him saying he couldn't take a flight, like it's serious, man. It's not a game. Back is like the worst. And my lower back will flare up on me from time to time. But I still, after I got right, I ran track. I did everything. I played tackle football, in the street, across people's grass, everything.
But it took that commitment and desire.
Yeah.
and that's
Oh
what
no,
I think.
I was crazy with my physical therapy.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I was not playing. I wanted to. Track was a passion for me, and I wanted to run again. And I
right.
was not about to give up that. I was not going to give that up because I'd have been one of the people who would have been sad and horrid, and just I probably would have been a hermit in the house because I couldn't do it. But yeah, man, it's definitely crazy. But I mean, Benny Fowler, I kind of felt like we could have kept Marquise Lee for that rather than putting in Fowler. I didn't see. Sometimes the signings, I just look at them like, I know these are camp bodies, but why? Why even do this?
I tell you what, we're going to learn a lot about, or how we're gonna see something when preseason comes. You're going to get an up close personal look at it. We talked about the mindset of these wide receivers that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And so these unknown guys, we don't know it. We don't know their demeanor on the sidelines, or if they're hype guys. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe that's what they all have in common. Maybe they all have that dog in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they have that bully in them that this team is looking to put together, because like there's some stuff on here I just can't explain. I have to see what it is.
You got to see it. Yeah. You are right, man. You are right. Well, we have covered all the receivers. I don't believe I missed anyone. If I did, Symmetry would have told me.
Let me see here. Let me double check. Let me see if I got.
I think that was everybody. Yeah, because I looked through the whole list. There's nobody else there. We covered Sanu. We got Richie. We got Debo. We got IU. Talked about Sherfield. Benny Fowler, Craig Kraft.
That's it, man.
Richie James. Yeah. We got a lot of receivers in camp. And I honestly feel like a lot of these receivers are here purposely just for us to be able to, make sure that these guys don't get injured. Let them get out there and run. It's like, all right, you ran with the ones, good, go sit down somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then the league is lightening things up for people who do get vaccinated. As far as the players and staff and whatnot, you probably not. I think they're lightening up on like you having to wear a mask, like, all the time. Probably less testing for you, most likely too.
Right.
There's a couple of things. I actually just got like my first shot. And I got next week, I got to go get that second one.
Okay.
The only thing that happened to me was just a little shoulder soreness. But
that's usually what people get, a little tightness and.
Yeah, I just had like
a bruise feeling,
Yeah, and then like probably about 2 days later, I was fine. It didn't bother me none, and I just made sure that I just kept it in going. But Jimmy Ward's pressure was funny because that's just what Callie was talking about. Jimmy Ward pressure, he was like super happy. He was super happy, and the thing about it is, he was honest. He's like, yeah, you gotta catch me in the right mood. Some days I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it today. And some days you're like, I'm a happy-go-lucky dude. I can understand that.
I think one of my favorite parts of his whole presser was, come on, somebody give me a good question.
Yeah, like y'all boring me with the stuff y'all asking me right now, and I'm in a really good mood. I could give you nuggets if you ask the right question.
Yeah, man.
And then they asked him how he was going to be used, and he dropped the politics. He was like, yeah, I can't really tell you that.
Right. And somebody tried to bait him on him not getting turnovers. He's like, all right, here we go. We're gonna do this. Okay. Like he literally said, like, oh, here we go. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This question.
Yeah.
Okay. How can I say that? Let me give you a dramatic pause.
Right.
Okay. Like Jimmy was on one today, bro. He was on one today. I really enjoyed it. Sim asked if Fowler was 31. I see 29. I see Fowler's 29.
Yeah, it's 29. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, but hey, I think we're in line for a great season. I believe that, we'll have I'm really banking Jalen Hurd or Juwan Jennings. One of those dudes to come in and push a line and say, just take the reins, man. Just look, Jalen Hurd can come in and go, I don't care what you guys think of me. I don't care what happened the last 2 years. I'm out here to ball.
Well, he did something that I thought was almost like a mental health check. When he shut down, he got that injury and shut down all the social media.
Okay.
He got low. hey, let me focus on this. Let me find out this is what I really want to do.
Yeah, you got to look within yourself.
I thought he might have retired. He was, and see, I can't. You know what? I'll say it. I'll say it on your show. So I was texting somebody. No, I was DMing somebody who was in the building.
Gotcha.
And they said that his mentality is weird.
Huh.
Like almost like super introvert, like how the team is all like rah, 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 like they hanging out with each other. He's kind of just, like almost what you expect Kinlaw to be.
Yeah.
That's how he is in real life.
Oh.
Like he's really just like laid back on his own. And I heard like some weird, I don't want to put anything negative out there, but I heard like there's some weird stuff and it's this with him. And I was like, really? Like I was surprised by that. I was really, really surprised by what I heard. So because
you don't want somebody to be introverted like that. When you're on a team and you're playing, like you have to be able to mesh with the personalities. Like I'm one of those people, like I kid you not, I network very well just because of who I am. I have a fairly good personality. I like to think for myself, and that's just how I feel. But I network well, like where I'm at right now. I know at least 3 dudes that are up there, in top spots. And I know these dudes on like a personal level, like that. I don't have to just hey, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. Like, no, what's happening? How y'all doing?
Right.
I know them on a brother level. Like when we see each other, it's we everything. And those dudes are like mentors. They taught me how to be in the business area and how to speak to the right people, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He needs to blend in. Sometimes you gotta open up to be that guy,
right, and
not be so introverted, because when you introverted, you kind of lock yourself away. It's nothing against people who are introverted, because it is what it is.
Right.
But I see you looking. The Knicks is done, and it's sad.
Oh no, it's not that. It's not that. I was waiting. Because you're hitting on something. You're hitting on something. What you're talking about with his personality and all. And what I think it is he needs. You ever hear "Let your play do the talking"?
Yeah, all day. Yeah.
I think that's what he needs. Go back and watch his reactions following those touchdowns against Dallas. Go back and watch that, and then watch his reaction to the injury and going black.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, go out there and just ball out.
And then you'll see who he wants to be, because he can't be out here talking da-da-da-da-da and you can't even get on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because then you get treated like a Keller Witherspoon. When I'm healthy, I'm the best guy. Are you crazy? You can't say that. What are you talking about? So now, how is he supposed to talk when he's always on the sideline? So that
makes sense. Makes 120% sense.
Yeah.
So guys, we are going to wrap it up. Mike, I appreciate you coming on the show, brother.
No problem.
This was a great show, man. And it's definitely going to be a hell of a season. We are definitely. I'm poised to give us at least like 12 to 13 wins.
Let's go, baby.
12 to 13. No less.
I was upset at myself for how many wins I had, so I ended up changing and like looking for losses to give us. And I can tell you what I predicted. Hold on, I kept the record of it all. We actually did a whole big thing. I have 1, 2, 3. I found 4 losses, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I'll say this. I still don't see us losing to the Rams at all this season. Period. I don't see that. I do see us dropping 1 to the Seahawks, and I see us dropping 1 to the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are that itch you can't scratch. They annoy you.
Yes.
They just won't go away. It's like that. It's like that zombie in the movie. He just won't die.
Right.
It's like, come on, bro. I shot you in the head or snapped your neck. Just die already.
Omar Epps.
Here come the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? Here they go. They keep coming back. It's like, oh my God, leave me alone. You guys. Like that's how they are. They always are like that. And to be honest with you, I understand the addition of J.J. Watt. While a lot of people aren't necessarily too afraid of it,
I like
he
that.
still commands a little bit of respect.
I like that move a lot.
And he's still, there it is. Look, Sim said it best. There it is. They like cockroaches.
Yeah, man.
They like cockroaches. They leave you alone. But thank you so much, Mike, for going, blessing me with your presence. Thank you for taking the time out to come hang with me, man. I'll let you get back to, your family and whatnot. I saw you give the son a hug and tell him good night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He gets to stay up later than the girls. The girls go to bed at 8:30. So right when we started, I said goodnight to them. He gets to stay up later because he's older. But
yeah, man, that's always how it works, But hey, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, hanging with us. There'll be more content to come. We still got more of the roster to go through. If Mike is good with it, I'll have him come back through, and we'll definitely check in. We'll get on those DBs. Strictly because that's my favorite position in football. I love DBs.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that, but y'all have yourselves a wonderful evening. Stay blessed, stay faithful. We out.
Peace.